It's December the 5th, so that's day 5 of our Advent Countdown story, Jingle All the Way Home. Words by Catherine Hapka, pictures by Catherine Silbert. And so we will unseal December the 5th to reveal the next chapter. Who will be home for Christmas? The rest of the family was in the living room. Someone had plugged in the Christmas tree and it glimmered and glowed in the front of the bay window. "Great tree," Jingle barked. "Thanks," Chris whispered. Mom and Dad looked way too serious for Christmas morning. Holly grabbed a gift from under the tree. "Is this it?" she demanded eagerly. "Did you guys get me the necklace?" "Holly, hush," Mom said. "We'll get to the gifts in a moment. First, we need to figure out what to do with the dog." "You know he can't stay here," Dad added. "With my allergies." Chris's heart sank. "I know, but we can try to find his owner, right?" "There's an animal shelter over in Westfield," Dad said. "If he's lost, his owner will probably look for him there." "Not if his owner is Santa Claus," Chris thought. Holly finally tuned into the conversation. "Wait, we're not driving all the way to Westfield now, are we? Ivy will be here soon. I told her we'd start opening gifts around 9. "The shelter's closed on Christmas Day. I just checked the website." Mom held up her phone. "We'll have to go tomorrow." Chris was relieved. Tomorrow was a whole day away. Then he realized what his sister had said. "Ivy," he said, "it's Christmas. Can't you live without her for one day?" "Don't you listen to anything I say?" Holly rolled her eyes. "Her family doesn't do Christmas, so I invited her over. Mom and Dad said it was okay." "The more the merrier," Dad agreed. Now Chris did remember, but that didn't mean he had to like it. Mom glanced at her watch. "Is it really almost 9 already? Get dressed, everyone, then we'll have breakfast." "Can't we open one present first?" Holly was still clutching the small package. "Please?" Dad plucked it out of her hand. "You sound like my students begging for one more week to finish their term papers," he said with a wink. "Upstairs. Gifts after clothes and breakfast." "I guess you're right," Holly told their parents. "Like I said, Ivy will be here soon. We don't want Dad's ratty pajamas to scare her off, right?" "Right," Chris muttered. "We definitely don't want that." He stomped upstairs with Jingle hurrying after him. It was bad enough that Mom and Dad would both be gone for half of Christmas Day. While Mom was at work, Dad had to set up for tonight's festival and parade with the rest of the planning committee. Now Chris had to share the short time he had with them with Ivy too. "What's the matter?" Jingle asked. "You shouldn't be in a bad mood. It's Christmas." "Too bad my annoying sister doesn't know what that means anymore," Chris muttered. "Why do you say that?" the little dog asked. "And hey, who's Ivy?" She's my weird sister's weird best friend," Chris said. "Her parents were born in Japan and they don't really celebrate Christmas there. That's why Holly invited her over." Now he remembered Holly telling them about it. How Ivy's parents had moved to the United States a couple of years before she was born. How they usually visited relatives during the holidays. How they couldn't go anywhere this year because Ivy's mom was busy writing a book. How Ivy had always been interested in celebrating Christmas. "Today is supposed to be for family," Chris blurted out. Jingle stood on his hind legs and licked Chris's hand, sending the scent of peppermint wafting through the air. "Friends can be family too. Santa says we're all one big North Pole family. Him and Mrs. Claus, the elves, the reindeer, and me." And he looked sad for a second. Somehow, in all the excitement of finding Jingle, Chris hadn't really thought about how the little dog must feel. "Don't worry," Chris said. "I'll help you figure out how to get home." Jingle brightened immediately. "You'd do that? But you've helped me so much already, rescuing me from the chimney, giving me that wonderful bath." "Of course," Chris smiled. "You're my friend, and that makes you family. At least that's what Santa says, right?" When Chris and Jingle went back downstairs, Ivy was at the front door. She carried a small stack of wrapped gifts, and her cheeks were pink from the cold. "Welcome, Ivy," Dad said. "Can I make you a smoothie, or would you rather have toast and jam?" "A smoothie sounds great, thanks," Ivy said politely. Jingle trotted over to her, his tail wagging. You got a dog? Ivy sounded surprised. Not exactly, Mom said with a chuckle. His name's Jingle, Chris added. Jingle? That's cute, Ivy said. Thanks, the little dog barked. Nice to meet you, Ivy. Ivy's eyes went very wide. Did he just, she stammered uncertainly. What? Chris demanded. For maybe the first time ever, he found himself extremely interested in what Ivy had to say. Holly was glad Ivy was finally here. Her little brother was acting like even more of a weirdo than usual. How old did that kid have to get before he stopped believing animals could talk? Just get in here, okay? She dragged Ivy toward the living room. I'm dying to open gifts. I'm expecting something very special this year. She shot her parents a hopeful look. Had they given her the amazing birthstone necklace she had been drooling over, the one made of real gold, just like Ivy's except of a purple amethyst? Except instead of a purple amethyst, Holly's would have a blue sapphire. Breakfast first, then gifts, Mom said. I'll cut stuff up for the smoothies, Holly offered. You can help too, Ives. Ivy was looking at the dog. She blinked and glanced at Holly. Sure, I'd love to help. With the girls assisting, it didn't take long for Dad to make breakfast smoothies for everyone. He even made a chicken soup and peanut butter smoothie for Jingle. Holly sucked down her smoothie as fast as she could. Finish up, guys, she said. Those gifts aren't going to open themselves. Watching the humans open their Christmas gifts was fun. You got it for me, Holly squealed. I love it. Thank you so much. Ivy gasped. You got the necklace? She pulled a sparkly strand from beneath the collar of her shirt, just like mine. Jingle had seen the elves make necklaces lots of times. He wasn't sure why they meant so much to humans, but he could tell that Holly was happy, just like everyone should be on Christmas. Merry Christmas, he barked. Ivy spun to face him, eyes wide. Jingle tilted his head to one side. Can you understand what I'm saying? He barked. Instead of answering, Ivy shrank back into her chair. Suddenly, the familiar scent of pine cones and gingerbread met Jingle's nose. I smell a portal, he barked, homesickness and excitement washing over him. He leaped onto the gift with a North Pole smell. The portal had to be inside. I'm coming, Santa, he cried, shedding paper and ribbon as fast as he could. Oh, we're going to have to wait till tomorrow to see if Jingle really did find a portal to sit back home to Santa.